Sometimes the streaming there's a way to reduce the load. I don't know if you can see my screen. If you right click on your preview and hit and it says enable preview, but it's got a checkbox, and just turn that off. And then yeah, I have to do that on games that take a lot of like VRAM. Um, what WAMP or but streaming takes a lot of VRAM, so it's like the combination of the two. Okay, let's mhm. Right now it's not loading for me. Nothing's loading for me. I'm stuck at loading assets. Yeah, it's just and it was working like minutes ago. So I, I don't know what I did. It's when as soon as you hit live, it's like, how can we mess this up? Let me try a different browser like Edge or something. Not that I like opening Edge, but you know, it is what it is. Yep, works in Edge. So it is Chrome. Unless yeah, let me see. Oh, it just decided to get over itself. As I went to look at my keyboard to see where F12 was to open the developer console, and it went, "Oh no, don't do that," and loaded it. So I think I'm good now. Just, of course, Chrome would be giving me a hard time. Yep. Oh, I'm getting a weird. Um. Okay. Okay. It seems okay now. And is it? Ooh. Oh, we get full res. Nice. Okay. I like this. And it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it's very snappy now. Ooh, very cool. I actually I can't show it because it's on my laptop. I can show a thumbnail of it, what I've been working on for the past week. Um, I don't. This is so. If you're in the Discord, please be in the Discord because we like talking to you guys. Um, it's you get kind of the heads up on everything that we're doing because we just talk about it right in front of you. Um, and I gotta scroll way back because we actually had a bunch of new people come into the Discord and very quickly start like building new levels. Stuff is very cool. So this is not the latest version of this, but I don't feel like grabbing my laptop from the other part of the house and putting it on a flash drive and move it over to my desktop. So we're just gonna open media link. Here we go. Working on a cyberpunk style place. We got some like white splatters paint or pigeon poop, whatever you want it to be. Bunch of concrete stuff. These neon bits will glow green if you do a dark mode. And we got this very industrial WAMP logo. If you wanted to do like WAMP Heavy Industries or something like that, you could make that. And then all of these, this was inspired by a few different cyberpunk, I think both from the game and also like concept art things. But all of these tiles should be reversible, so you can do different configurations of diagonal spaces. You could actually, I think you could probably even do like an X if you want to do like diagonal spaces coming up and then have an X and then go diagonal the other way. I haven't tried setting it up like that yet, but um, I think I'm pretty sure I figured out every combination of this diagonal to make it work in any position on your building if you want it. And then you get a space that looks like it could be windows. So you could alternate windows and non-window spaces and just do like skyscrapers. Um, I'd love to see a like 10 by 10 section of rooms making like a cyber. I mean, that's probably what I'm going to do once this deploys. I'm just going to make a cityscape. Um, yeah, and then we get some thin bits. You can do like columns or platforms with this, and because this is using the Rocky Road sort of setup. This bit here, it's one tile taller than the usual Rocky Roads setup. Um, yeah, I extended it down because I was running out of tiles to make the various combinations to fit in the space that I wanted. But I didn't want this space to be confusing because I wanted to show these tiles in a space that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. In the context, because if I have like this little corner tile of gray and yellow over here, it's gonna be like, well, where do I put that? So these all work in the context that they're in. But then you should be able to flip them vertically, flip them horizontally, rearrange them in different ways, and you'll be able to make all sorts of patterns of buildings, which is what I intend to do to show off how these work. Um, mhm. Oh, there's already stuff that I'm working on. It's just not in the screenshot that I had on Discord. So we've got little bits of trash. We've got like broken glass and bottles and things. There's going to be more of these sort of paint splattery things, but they're not on a background. So you could put them on the yellow or on the gray or on any other tile that grab them from a different tile set. So this, yep, still within the palette. That actually was a little bit of a struggle for me. Of did I want this concrete to stay this gray blue? Because I wanted it to be subtle, but I wanted it to be um uh visible. Yeah. So far I haven't added any new colors. I'm still struggling. The thing that I haven't gotten yet is you can see up in the upper left corner. There's the section I usually use for the repeatable tile section that then has all these edges, and you see I just have a gray there. I was trying. I wanted to do like a pile of trash, and I was struggling to figure out how to make it not look like it's skulls in the Gothic set. Um, and I really liked the way the skulls look. And like when you're zoomed out, when you're at this level, you can definitely see that they tile, but I feel like they tile nicely. Um, the struggle with the trash is getting distinct, like this is a piece of paper, this is a broken bottle. How do I make it look like yeah, so I'm a little bit, I don't want to say stuck. I'm just playing around with different ideas and going like, I don't like that, or oh, that makes but I tried putting in a broken bottle and it was just too big. And then then it looks like, oh, this is a tile of bottles. And it's like, no, it's a pile of trash. So how do I do that without it just looking like noise? So but there's little bits of detritus and stuff to, I think I used that word correctly. To detritus, that's what it is. Okay. Detritus sounds like some sort of like that's gonna be a name in the Odyssey or something like that. So you could make a very clean looking building, like it'll have this gray, but even clean concrete gets these streaks of gray. So you could have a totally clean, pristine, this is the Capitol building of whatever futuristic city it is. Um, and then have it descend a few rooms down, and then it gets messier and messier as you get down to the bottom, and then you have this disgusting Blade Runner, the street level graffiti everywhere. Yeah. So that's kind of the goal with this, that people have a tile set that will let them make a sprawling city. Um, and the one thing that I'm not sure about is, do I want to have just the yellow, or do I want to duplicate this set and have it with different colors so you can make different colored buildings, and then maybe change what the decorative items are in each one? And would that be too much cyberpunk stuff to deal with? Um, so I think I'll see what people make with this, and if the yellow is just becomes like too much, maybe I just make a version that's like a different shade of gray here. So you get the yellow being more like the highlighted buildings. Um, but we'll see how people respond to it. And really a palette color swap like that is takes like 5 seconds. It's you can flood fill non-contiguously. So I can just flood fill on the yellow here and it'll do all the yellows the same color. So it's very easy for me to switch the colors up. And then it's like, do people want that? And should I add more little elements? So I'm I'm excited for what gets made with this. Um, we've got mhm, mhm. I haven't seen any comments yet. We've got a few of our regular viewers watching, but no Ferris. I think it's late for him. Hmm. 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 Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So I've judged dozens of game jams, I think it's fair to say. And if I wasn't the judge of the game jam, I was at least the administrator of the game jam, meaning I had a team of judges that were my employees that I um was in charge of them and making sure that everything was being run fairly and stuff. So this is not new territory for me. Uh, it, some of my viewers have been participants in those game jams, or at least played a lot of games in the game jams, so they know what I'm talking about. So what I wanted to create here was a very specific list of criteria that the judging is almost objective, I would say. There's wiggle room for subjective choices. The judges can judge, you, me, and Ferris can judge as we see fit. But the numbers mean something, and this way it should be very clear to participants that they're hitting certain goals, and that they're not confused by their score when they get it. So I have a feeling that that a lot of the judging will almost be kind of checklist elements, with a little bit of, there'll be like a 1 point difference between you, me, and Ferris on some rooms, depending on our opinions on the rooms. And that's what's going to create a different ranking for everybody. So we're judging based on 5 different major criteria, which is game design, level decoration, music, and storytelling. There is no visual element for like pixel art, because not everybody has access to the sprite creator at the start, and most people are going to be working from the assets that are there. So I didn't have that one included for this one. Maybe in a future jam, if we open it up to more people creating their own tile sets and objects, then that will be a consideration in there, but not for this jam. So under game design, we have using objectives, enemies, collectibles, and puzzle mechanics to make the room fun. This is, how does it play? So our rankings of numbers here are 0 is totally unplayable. You enter the room and you get that as you get like stuck in a single space. We've got 1, it means it's playable, but there's nothing to do, which can be okay. You can have a room that just looks cool and you can explore, but there's no objectives, no collectibles, no pressure on the player to do anything. You can still have I think a fun and potentially winning room with that, but you just get a 1. 2's mechanics or objectives make it more than a space to navigate. That means that you've placed collectible items, or there's pressure plates or doors to unlock, monsters that get released, just anything that uses the objects or the objectives to give a gameplay element. 3, the objectives make sense and every required object is present and usable. So you can theoretically set up an objective of collect 3 coins, but you only put 2 coins. Yeah, right over there. uh, oh no, I know that, feeling. So 3, I feel like a lot of people who get 2 will actually get up to a 3, because most people who start putting objects down are going to make them do something. So you have a puzzle and there's a solution. You have an objective and you're able to complete it. 4, the objective is fun and challenging. This is where we start getting into the judge's choice. Like, does the judge, yeah, are we entertained? And then 5, the judge wants to keep replaying for faster leaderboard times. That's when we get a little addicted. I mean, even there was in the Discord, it was so simple. It was like 4 steps up to a flag, but you had to time your jumps just right to get that like sub 2-second time. And we were at it for, I don't know, a good 10-15 minutes trying to optimize our times. Hmm. 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 So our next major section is level design. Consider the layout, interesting routes, and whether reachable areas work as expected. So somebody makes something that looks like a cool maze, but there's no way inside. Like, I don't know, we wanted to run around that area. So you have to start thinking about your collisions, about whether areas can successfully be jumped to. Um, have you set it up in a frustrating way where you've got like this difficult jump, and if you don't land it, then you're in another level, and then you have to like stop at reset to go back. Um, those would probably that'd probably be a negative thing for the level design because it's like you're not keeping me in your level. So make sure that the player is able to navigate the level successfully. So zero would be totally unplayable. Player cannot move or do anything on entry. One, the room can be played. So that's just kind of like our bare minimum criteria here for 1 point. Two, every area that looks accessible can be reached. So did you set up a cool looking thing? Can the person get there? Good. Three, the room is interesting to explore and may flow well into neighboring spaces. So this is this is kind of like a bonus point. And there's a note that neighbors can block people from exiting your room into their room. So um, if you've set up a pathway to lead into your neighbor, and then your neighbor puts up a wall, it's like that's not your fault. You can even go and edit your neighbor's room unless they mint it. So you can keep on you can have like a little passive aggressive neighbor wall fence, like, hey, I'm gonna mow the lawn on your side of the fence kind of thing going on. Um so and that's I think that's fine and fun and in the nature of this collaborative space that we're building. I think that most people, because we have put the limits on new accounts being able to edit multiple times a day, I think people are going to be well behaved, so they earn that bit of for lack of a better term, social credit or trust, I think is what we call it in the back end. Um, you know, play nice with your neighbors. And if you don't, I mean, it's gonna be harder for you because you're gonna be using up all of your edit and publish limits. So I think at the deadline of I believe we've set it for Sunday night. When that time ends, we are going to lock everything. I think we need. I think we if we don't already have that set up, we're going to get that set up, so that way edits can't be made between the deadline and judging. Um, yeah, so that will stop any little back and forth. So get your ducks in a row, and if your neighbors who are not participating in the game jam change their level after the deadline, it's not going to be counted against you that they can't leave your space. We'll be able to see that you have something joining to the next space. And it's like, oh, cool, you interacted with the level next to you. That's a cool bonus thing. Yeah, I don't think it should take away that point just because somebody on the other side built up a wall. So that's where we keep it fair. Um, our next thing is level decoration. Use decorative tiles and objects to make the room feel beautiful and complete. So zero would be bare with no decorative tiles or objects. One is some decoration is present. Two is decoration supports the room's theme. So, you're not making what looks like a gothic medieval cave world, and then you've got I don't know. I mean, a lot of our themes kind of like flow together, so I don't think that's like too bad. But maybe you made like a cute little bubblegum candy world that looks really neat, and then you just put skulls everywhere as the collectible, and it's like, I mean, okay, we got game mechanics, but I don't know what's going on with the theme here. We got some cognitive dissonance going on. So, um, right. Yeah. I mean, if you have some storytelling going on that goes like, oh, this is the witch's house from Hansel and Gretel or something like that, then okay, all right, I see what's going on here. But we might need some storytelling elements to link those things together. So this is where all the criteria kind of flows together. Um, and then three is detailed, polished, and complete. Not to toot my own horn, but does your room look like the tutorial level, or does it look kind of disjointed and everything's everywhere and not making sense? I spent a lot of time with that tutorial room to like make everything look like it all kind of was in place. So plus one bonus. So here you can get up to a fourth point is lighting and weather enhancing the mood. So this could happen on any of these. You could get a 0 plus 1, or you get a 1 plus 1. So are you using the lighting and the weather to enhance? And maybe that doesn't fit your theme. So maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe it would be less cohesive for you to do that. So that's use it at your discretion, whatever you think is best as a builder. Then we've got music. Use the music editor to create a mood for your room. So I think this is one of the most, I mean, obviously level design is creative, but if you're like a traditional creative thinking music and arts and stuff like that, this is where people can really have a chance to shine. Um, Zero, the music is painful to listen to. Maybe that's a that's a judgment choice. Like maybe I listen to something, I'm like, oh, why is this sound like a bunch of monkeys banging wrenches on the inside of a drum kit or something? Like what's going on here? A one is slightly better. There is no music. Uh, this is our bare minimum. Two, the music is listenable. Like, oh, okay, we got some music going on. That's cool. And then three, the music is catchy enough to hum after playing. So we're going like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm been listening to this track for like a minute now, and I'm feeling the groove. That's great. So we get 3 points there. And then a bonus, multiple sequencer tracks create a longer song. So I don't know what the longest possible song is. How many we can do? Is it 8 tracks in a? Let's see. If we look at the music editor and go to arrange, it's 8. It's 8, but but each. Hmm? Oh, was that always there? Okay, I didn't even notice. Honestly, I okay. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Okay. So yeah, if we can tell that the music hasn't looped in a while, um that it's like, oh, you're actually like doing some composition and stuff here, you can get a bonus point there. Um so I mean honestly, I usually do a single yeah, I do real small loops. I try to like I try to make something like as interesting and dense in like one loop as possible. Um because honestly, a lot of the levels only take a few seconds to play. Um, Although people may be playing them over and over again, so you might want to extend out. But I'm also not. I'm not. I don't consider myself a real musician. I'm more like oh, I think this is cool. I'm kind of a hobbyist. Um, who's not very good at practicing their hobby. So, um, so I mostly do the single sequence. But yeah, if we can hear like, oh, there's an instrument going on here, and then it goes away, and then it comes back, and I'm like, oh, there's an arrangement going on here. That will give you a bonus point there. Then our last criteria is storytelling, add narrative told through level design and text. So 0B, no story seems to be present. Honestly, I think not a lot of people are going to get a 0 on that, because as soon as you do an interesting level, you've got some basic environmental storytelling. Whether you've got your the simplest version of your hero's cycle narrative going on, trying to get to a quest flag, like you've already got some storytelling going on. um like when you think about Super Mario Brothers, the original Super Mario Brothers, like what is the story? It's the simplest story that you could ever tell. But the level design has you going into danger, facing enemies. You're trying to get to the princess. Like that is the story. So you have a very basic environmental storytelling there. Two, you've got signs and NPCs conveying more of the story. So you've got some text going on. We've got your princess is another castle. We've got custom text for your objective saying, hey, you need to jump up these platforms to get to the chest or whatever. And then three, we've got single room story. The single room story hooks the judges and leaves them wanting more. Have you told us something that we're like, oh, that's cool. That's I want I want you to make more rooms and tell me more of the story. Like I'm invested now. And that's our three. So all those together, you can get potentially a total of 19 points. We're averaging the scores, so there will be decimals in there. I imagine that we might have some very close runners, and we may need to have a little judges powwow to like balance out. Yeah, we'll figure that out as we go along. And I think the thing that's important to me with game jams is that we iterate the plan as we go along. So this is our first game jam for We All Make a Platformer. This is the we'll see what the response is to this. What do people think feels fair or unfair? And one of the things that I was very proud of when my company before was running the game jams is that we listened to the feedback and we did our best to adjust the rules. We were not the only ones in charge of the game jam because we were running them on behalf of another company, but wherever we could, we would take that community feedback and be like, okay, we need to address this because like there's a lot of competitors who are not happy with the way something went. Besides just that, oh, I didn't win. Like obviously, people are going to be disappointed if they don't win, but you can mitigate that by being like, it was fair. Like clearly, somebody who made a better game than me won. I need to improve. And I'm excited for this because I think people are already making really cool stuff, and I'm excited for what this competition will do to their creative energies when they feel a little pressure of, I've got a week to make something better than everybody else. What cool things are they going to figure out? Because honestly, game jams I think is where these emergent mechanics start to pop up more. Where it's you've got this pressure of making something novel that is going to surprise the judges. So I'm very excited. There's some basic. Oh, sorry, go ahead. There's some. Yeah. Just this is like the boilerplate stuff. This is boring, but entry and conduct rules must be a newly claimed space. So we don't want you just going in and editing any space. This has to be space that you claimed because you need to be able to revert it if you need to. And we want people building new stuff. Let's expand the map more. You need to submit your username. You have to have an email connected to your account, and you need to let us know what the room coordinates are so we can find your room. That is the deadline is July 26th, which I believe is the Sunday. Yeah. So Sunday, and then we will have Monday to go through the entries to make sure that we have everything organized and prepared for a stream on Tuesday to do the judging. Make sure that the coordinates match the room URL so that you do not submit the wrong room. So if you are building a space, you might notice that sometimes the URL might not match the room that you're in. So we say, like, we go over to this space, we play the room, it says we're at -3, -1, and we run out into the next room and then immediately die. Oh, wait, the URL updated. Okay, so maybe that's changed. That's cool. I like that. So it used to be that you had to hit that warp button to update the URL. But just double check. Make sure that you're clicked on your space. It shows the title of your space, that you see these numbers, -3, -1, or whatever it is, and that, oh, here it is. If you click on the room, it doesn't update the URL. So you'll see WT Forest -2, -3, but up here the URL is -2, -1. So make sure you hit that warp button and it gives you the correct URL. If we see that you've submitted coordinates that don't belong to your account, this is why we have your email to make sure, hey, you submitted this. I don't think that's what you meant to submit. Keep a valid email connected to your WAMP bit so we can contact you. That's what we're just talking about. Custom objects and backgrounds are allowed when your build level permits them, but they don't earn you any bonus points. So if you have access to doing custom background, access to doing a custom object, that's cool. Maybe that supports your story. That can be part of your storytelling point, but you're not getting extra points just on the fact that you had a cool background. And that's just for a fairness thing. People are going to be creating new accounts. They're not going to have time to build up the builder XP to get access to these features. This is yeah. Yep. Hey, Play Game for Fun. Welcome to the chat. I hope that you will participate in this. I know Play Game for Fun has built lots of stuff in the sandbox. I hope that you'll check this out. Um, let's see. Prizes may be paid in US dollars through PayPal or in USDC to an Ethereum wallet address. So that's just kind of like what your preference is, and we'll contact the winners through email to figure out to make the arrangements for that payment. Judges will play experiences live on stream on Monday, the 20th. You know, that maybe we might update that to the Tuesday, depending on how many entries there are. Because we might not have, if there's a lot of entries, we might not have time to check that all of them are valid entries before we go live. So I think we'll update that date. Final results will be announced after every submission has been played and scored. So if we get a lot of submissions, we may not do a 7-hour stream that's necessary for us to play through all the games. It may take us a few more days to go through the entries, but we'll at least show off a bunch of the entries, and you'll get to see what the judging process is like. Judges' decisions are final. Harassment, score ranting, or other unsportsmanlike conduct can result in removal from events, WAMP, Discord, and related social spaces. So, like I said, we try to, or I try, and I'm sure Jonathan is going to agree with this, that we try to take your feedback seriously and try to make improvements for that. But you have to do them in good faith, good sportsmanship, be polite. Just being like, I hate the judges. I wish they died because they didn't give me enough points on this. I clearly did better than this loser over here who got 5th place or whatever. That's not cool, and we don't vibe with that. So you know, that if that's the kind of attitude you take, then I have no problem blocking and banning people who behave that way. You gotta be nice. I try to be nice. Jonathan is nice. Like we're nice people, and we want everybody to have a good time. And you know, just be nice. It's not that hard. So that's all the stuff. Mhm. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I will answer any questions, and I'll also give a breakdown of no, you don't need to mint and some editor stuff, and we'll just kind of make this stream sort of an all-encompassing FAQ. Thank you, Jonathan. I will catch you later.